It's a helicopter, and it's coming this way.
A helicopter?
It's flying something behind it. I can't quite make it out. It's a large banner, and it says, Happy Thanksgiving.
Well, sitcoms had other plans. Over the decades, TV gave us Thanksgiving episodes that were weird, wild, and completely unhinged. Raw turkey football, pet turkeys becoming dinner, and stick around for number 1 because it involves the most legendary food fight in sitcom history. Now, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because it helps us keep the nostalgia trips rolling every single week. Alright, let's get into the countdown with number 8, WKRP in Cincinnati, Turkeys Away, CBS. Turkeys Away aired October 30th, 1978 and became the single most iconic Thanksgiving disaster in television history. WKRP in Cincinnati ran on CBS from 1978 to 1982, giving us 90 episodes set inside a struggling Cincinnati radio station. Gordon Jumped played Arthur Big Guy Carlson, the well-meaning but spectacularly clueless station manager. Gary Sandy was Andy Travis, the program director actually running things. Howard Hessman played Dr. Johnny Fever, the burned-out DJ, and Richard Sanders played Les Nessman, the nervous newsman who took himself far too seriously.
This is Les Nessman, your man on the scene here at the Pinedale Shopping Center where the excitement is mounting. We're here to witness the big WKRP Turkey Thanksgiving giveaway.
Mr. Carlson felt left out of the station's successful new rock format and decided to organize his own Thanksgiving promotion. His grand idea? Drop 40 live turkeys from a helicopter over the Pinedale shopping mall. He assumed the birds would simply glide down to shoppers below, who could collect them for Thanksgiving dinner. He enlisted sales manager Herb Tarlek, played by Frank Bonner, and Les Nessman to execute the plan, keeping it secret from everyone else. The promotion went disastrously wrong because domesticated turkeys are flightless. They didn't glide, they plummeted. Les Nessman provided a frantic live radio report.
Oh my God, they're turkeys! Oh, they're crashing to the earth right in front of our eyes! Oh my goodness! Oh, the humanity!
The episode was loosely based on a real 1960s radio promotion in Dallas where a station manager dropped turkeys from a pickup truck in a parking lot. Similar mess, less altitude. Turkeys Away became legendary for one reason. Mr. Carlson genuinely believed turkeys could fly.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
That combination of confidence and complete ignorance created one of the greatest Thanksgiving episodes ever made and a punchline that's still quoted decades later. Number 7. Married with Children, A Bundy Thanksgiving, Fox. November 24th, 1996 brought us a Bundy Thanksgiving, and it might be the most Bundy episode ever made. Married with Children ran from 1987 to 1997 on Fox, delivering 259 episodes of pure dysfunctional family television. Ed O'Neill played Al, the bitter shoe salesman who peaked in high school and never recovered. Katie Seagal was Peggy, his wife, who treated housework like an optional hobby. Christina Applegate and David Faustino rounded out the chaos as Kelly and Bud, the pretty but dim daughter and the scheming son who proved dysfunction ran in the family. The episode had 2 plots, both perfectly awful. Al wanted Aunt Mattie's sweet potato pie, his childhood Thanksgiving tradition.
Only one is worthy of it.
I think they're going to give me this pie.
He and Griff showed up at her bakery only to find out she died.
Yeah, I need to find Aunt Mattie. You know where she is?
Oh, she's down at the church, son.
So naturally, they crashed her funeral to get the last pie, which was sitting right there at the service. Meanwhile, neighbor Jefferson Darcy, played by Ted McGinley, was hunting for a turkey since every store was sold out. A stray turkey wandered up to the Bundy house and Kelly immediately claimed him. She named him Hank, made him comfortable, and genuinely bonded with the bird. The rest of the family saw Thanksgiving dinner walking around on 2 legs. Kelly tried setting Hank free to save him, but this was the Bundy household. Happy endings didn't exist there. Hank ended up cooked anyway, and the final scene was Kelly sitting at the table devastated while everyone else ate her pet. Talk about commitment to dysfunction. For those of us who grew up watching the anti-family sitcom, A Bundy Thanksgiving delivered exactly what we expected. Zero warmth, zero lessons, and proof that the Bundys could make even the holidays emotionally scarring. Number 5. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Talking Turkey, NBC. Welcome to Talking Turkey, where the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air discovered what happens when you hand 4 pampered teenagers a turkey and 0 adult supervision. The show ran on NBC from 1990 to 1996, with Will Smith playing a street-smart West Philly kid living with his wealthy Uncle Phil and Aunt Vivian Banks, played by James Avery and Janet Hubert. Their kids, Carlton, Hillary, and Ashley, played by Alfonso Ribeiro, Karen Parsons, and Tatiana Ali, had grown up with butler Jeffrey handling everything from meals to probably tying their shoes. Will's mom, Vi, played by Vernie Watson, showed up for Thanksgiving and immediately called them out for treating Jeffrey like their personal Downton Abbey staff. Vivian got called out by big sister Vi, so obviously she let it go. Unfortunately for all the dinner guests at the Banks' home that evening, she did not. Aunt Viv had something to prove, so she made the kids cook the entire Thanksgiving dinner themselves.
You are going to cook and serve Thanksgiving dinner.
How? Why?
Because you kids don't do enough work around the house.
Jeffrey and the gardener got the day off, and the kitchen became a war zone. Hillary burned the yams into charcoal, not just overdone, but actual fuel-grade carbon. You could have powered a furnace with those things.
Interesting. I've never had them before with this thick black crust.
It's Cajun style.
Hillary burned them.
Will had undercooked the turkey to the point that it might have still had a pulse. This bird wasn't roasted, it was vaguely introduced to light heat.
It's frozen inside.
Well,
I'm sorry, I thawed it as much as I could. What was I supposed to do, sit on it all day?
Ashley genuinely tried, but she was surrounded by culinary incompetence on all sides while just trying to handle the side dishes. Carlton was assigned to make the stuffing and decided to invite his English teacher, Mr. Fellows, as an esteemed dinner guest. The whole meal was a disaster made infinitely worse by having a guest witness the carnage. By the time Vi and Vivian staged their rescue operation, the kitchen looked like a crime scene. The lesson had nothing to do with gratitude and everything to do with the fact that some people should never be trusted near a recipe and definitely shouldn't invite their teachers to watch them fail. Talking Turkey gives us classic Fresh Prince chaos with a Thanksgiving twist. The Fresh Prince taught us that privileged kids have zero survival skills and that inviting your teacher to a disaster dinner is never a good idea. Now, if these Thanksgiving disasters are jogging your memory, hit like and subscribe and let us know in the comments which one scarred your childhood. Alright, let's get back to the countdown with number 4, Frasier, A Lilith Thanksgiving, NBC. A Lilith Thanksgiving aired November 23, 1995 at the height of Frasier's run of highbrow dysfunction. Frasier, Lilith, Niles, and Martin traveled to Boston for the interview. When they returned to restate their enthusiasm, everything unraveled. They interrupted dinner guests, they over-explained, they begged, and at one point, they tried offering the headmaster a turkey, the one they stole from Niles. Meanwhile, Niles' turkey prep subplot was peak Crane family comedy.
You still have to remove the entrails from the chest cavity.
In that case, where do you keep your 10-foot pole?
He shook the turkey with a gloved hand, then accidentally covered his own mouth with that same glove. By the time he discovered his bird was missing, he was drinking cooking sherry straight from the bottle.
Your son Frederick is hereby admitted to the Marbury School. However, he will be immediately expelled if either of you violates any of the following conditions.
Frasier and Lilith were banned from stepping foot on school grounds for any event ever again. Not sports, not plays, not even graduation. He accepted their son just to avoid his parents. Between the social sabotage, the stolen poultry, and 2 psychiatrists so irritating they got banned from their own son's school, the Cranes turned Thanksgiving into elegant chaos. Number 3, Martin, Feast or Famine, Fox. By 1994, Martin Lawrence had already turned his Fox sitcom into appointment television. From 1992 to 1997, Martin Payne gave us 132 episodes of a Detroit radio DJ navigating life with his girlfriend Gina, played by Tisha Campbell, her best friend Pam, played by Tischina Arnold, and his boys Cole and Tommy, played by Carl Anthony Payne II and Thomas Michael Ford. Feast or Famine aired November 24, 1994, and delivered peak Martin insanity, a Battle of the Sexes Thanksgiving cook-off.
All right, y'all, let's do this, okay? I ain't trying to lose no bet, okay? Here we go.
Gina and Pam challenged the guys to prove who could prepare the better holiday feast. Martin accepted with absolute confidence, despite possessing the culinary skills of a smoke alarm. It was 90s television and a holiday episode, so of course we had to meet a new Poppin' family member. Insert Mama Payne and her niece Florine, soul and blues legend Millie Jackson. Gina tapped her soon-to-be cousin-in-law as their secret weapon to help them assemble a Martha Stewart-worthy spread.
Oh, good. I think that's a wonderful idea that you guys help us cook. You know what? I'm so glad y'all came over. Ooh. I like her.
The guys' kitchen was a disaster zone within minutes. Martin couldn't season a turkey, Cole approached stuffing like it was an escape room puzzle, Tommy somehow burned water, and then things got truly bizarre. At some point during the culinary carnage, Martin decided the best way to handle a raw, uncooked turkey, still slick with poultry juices, was to use it as a football. Yeah, a regulation-size Thanksgiving pigskin made of actual bird. Martin dropped back like he was leading the Lions offense, hurling the turkey across the apartment while Cole and Tommy ran routes. It was complete pandemonium. Meanwhile, the women prepared an immaculate feast without breaking a sweat, but of course, breaking into song was absolutely necessary.
Pass the peas like we used to do. Pass the peas like we used to do. Pass the peas like we used to do. Hey, pass the peas like we used to do.
But here's where the cook-off fell apart. Nobody had actually cooked anything. Martin recognized the smell of Mama Payne's biscuits and called out the women for getting help.
Yeah, all right. Wait a minute. The nose. Wait a minute. Somebody living down. Somebody living. Get over there. Get over there. Tommy takes one of them. Then my mama biscuits.
Cole accidentally let slip that the guys' dinner was catered. Both sides got exposed for living foul, and the entire competition was a fraud. So they did what any group of people would do after wasting an entire day on a fake Thanksgiving cook-off. They went to the movies. Big mistake. While they were gone, bruh man from the fifth floor, Martin's eccentric upstairs neighbor who routinely broke into the apartment from the fire escape, devoured their entire Thanksgiving meal, every last bite.
Bruh, man, no, you did not eat all the Thanksgiving dinner, man. Everything was hidden, too. Except for them rag-ass peas.
Feast or Famine was pure Martin chaos, a Thanksgiving cook-off where neither side actually cooked, the turkey became a football, and the only person who got to eat Thanksgiving dinner was the guy who broke into the apartment and stole it. Number 2, Seinfeld, the mom and pop store, NBC. The Mom and Pop Store aired November 17th of 1994 and somehow combined celebrity assault, dental forensics, and a catastrophic parade balloon disaster into one episode. Only Seinfeld could turn Thanksgiving into a crime scene.
It's this one here in the back.
Oh, you caught 41 cat hurt.
The show ran on NBC from 1989 to 1998, giving us 9 seasons and 180 episodes of 4 self-absorbed New Yorkers doing terrible things to each other and everyone around them. Jerry Seinfeld played himself, a neurotic comedian obsessing over every social interaction. Jason Alexander was George Costanza, the perpetually unemployed liar. Julia Louis-Dreyfus played Elaine Benes, the only person who could match their dysfunction, and Michael Richards brought Kramer to life as Jerry's bizarre neighbor who stumbled through existence on pure chaos energy.
If they don't get some business, they're gonna have to shut down and make way for one of those gourmet coffee or cookie stores.
The episode kicked off with Jerry analyzing whether he was actually invited to his dentist, Tim Whatley's Thanksgiving party. He listened to their phone conversation like it was evidence in a murder trial, dissecting every syllable. Very normal behavior for a grown adult, I promise. Kramer went full small business crusader and convinced Jerry to send all his sneakers to a struggling mom-and-pop repair shop.
Now come on, Jerry. You gotta have a pair of shoes in need of a cobbler.
Jerry agreed, then immediately had nothing to wear except cowboy boots. Suddenly, he was clumping around Manhattan like he'd wandered off a ranch. George bought a used LeBlanc that supposedly belonged to Jon Voight. The glove compartment contained a pencil with bite marks from Jon Voight, different spelling, possibly different guy.
Except John is spelled with an H. J-O-H-N. Doesn't Jon Voight spell his name J-O-N?
The episode became legendary when Kramer spotted the actual Jon Voight on the street and rushed up to ask about the car. In response, Voight bit Kramer on the arm and peeled away in a cab. Cue the forensics analysis. Matching the bite marks on Kramer's arm to the pencil bite marks to confirm Jon Voight's identity. It was CSI before CSI ever existed. Meanwhile, Elaine won a radio contest on behalf of her boss, Mr. Pitt, granting him the honor of holding the Woody Woodpecker balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It was his lifelong dream, which meant Seinfeld had to destroy it. At Whatley's party, Jerry accidentally knocked a tiny Empire State Building replica out the window. It fell several stories and punctured Woody Woodpecker mid-parade. The balloon deflated, chaos erupted, and Mr. Pitt nearly got carried away with the wreckage. That's how Seinfeld turned Thanksgiving 1994 into a New York City disaster involving cowboy boots, parade sabotage, and Jon Voight's dental records. No heartwarming messages, no family bonding, just 4 terrible people ruining everyone's holiday in the most elaborate ways possible. Number 1. Cheers. Thanksgiving Orphans, NBC. The show ran on NBC from 1982 to 1993, delivering 275 episodes set almost entirely inside a Boston bar where everybody knew your name. Ted Danson played Sam Malone, the womanizing ex-baseball player who owned the place. Shelley Long was Diane Chambers, the pretentious intellectual who made everything harder than it needed to be. The regulars: Norm Peterson, played by George Wendt, Cliff Clavin, played by John Ratzenberger, and Carla Tortelli, played by Rhea Perlman, spent most of their time drinking beer and insulting each other.
What's up, Norm? My nipples. It's freezing out there.
Woody Harrelson joined as the sweet but dim bartender Woody Boyd, and Kelsey Grammer showed up as the pompous psychiatrist Frasier Crane. The episode started when everybody realized they had nowhere to go for Thanksgiving. Diane decided the only proper solution was a potluck at Carla's new house.
Second, listen to you. Carla, you have a new place. You could have a little gathering. Forget it. Oh, come on. What could be more enjoyable than opening your heart with holiday cheer?
Everyone showed up with dishes except Norm, who contributed an unseasoned, uncooked turkey the size of a toddler.
Oh, I'm thankful that there's a turkey in the kitchen that needs to be checked. Yeah, get the damn thing out here. Stab it.
The thing took hours to roast. As time dragged on, hunger turned the gang from mildly irritable to full-on feral. Diane had forced them into a civilized moment. Say what you're thankful for, act like functioning adults. For this group, that was asking a lot. The bickering had started small. Norm flicked a pea at Carla. She fired back with carrots. And then the entire Thanksgiving dinner exploded. Potatoes were airborne, stuffing became grenades, and cranberry sauce used as biological warfare. Oh, and the best part was that most of it wasn't even choreographed. The only scripted moment was Sam launching cranberry sauce directly at Diane's face.
I have never been witness to such a silly, soft...
Everything else, the rolls, the potatoes, the stuffing, was pure improvisation. Within seconds, the entire cast was covered head to toe in gravy, vegetables, and whatever used to be dinner. It was glorious, unhinged chaos. And then, because they were the Cheers gang, they sat down and calmly ate whatever food they could scrape from the table, the walls, and occasionally each other with zero dignity and maximum commitment. Somewhere, I'm sure, light bulbs went off in the heads of Richard Bay and Jerry Springer. But the most legendary and weirdest moment belonged to Vera. Norm's famously unseen wife made her first and only on-screen appearance, sort of. She walked through the door, and before anyone got a good look at her, Diane accidentally hit her in the face with a pumpkin pie. The running gag survived intact. Vera remained a pie-covered silhouette, mystery preserved. Cheers gave us the greatest food fight ever filmed and a group of misfits who proved you don't need blood relatives to have a memorable Thanksgiving. You just need people willing to throw mashed potatoes at your face. And there you have it, 8 Thanksgiving episodes that proved holiday TV could get seriously weird. Be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the shows we grew up with, and until next time, have a happy Thanksgiving, and remember that this is Remember When.